Welcome to the New Horror Voice podcast. I'm your host, Chile, co-host Paul, co-host Base. Today we're going to be talking about cryptids, and the three that we have on a dock for each of us are going to be Black Shuck is what we're starting with. We're going to go to the Mothman, and I'm talking Jersey Devil. So to set us off, Paul, tell us about the Black Shuck.
Oh, yes. Right before I get into the Black Shuck real quick. All right. For everyone out there that was questioning us about, why didn't we drink on the last episode? We're back at it again. Shouts out to Drew for commenting on that and letting me know that it's not as interesting without the beer in the hand. So, yeah.
Bruce for Drew.
All right. Cheers.
What episode even was that?
It was episode 4, I believe.
I think it was 5.
No, you're right. It was 5. It was 5.
It was phobias.
So we're back at it.
Whereas I said on the episode that we threw away, paranoias.
It was just an early day.
No, I had to work that day.
You had to work that day. It was early as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat. So, yeah, it just made sense. But anyway, back at it. My first pick was the Black Shuck. People reported seeing him since 1511. He could be an omen, a good omen or a bad omen, depending on the situation. So from people that have ever seen him, I should probably explain him as well. He's a big mangy dog, and his fur is so black, it's almost like staring into like a black hole. Like it's hard to focus on him. It's really weird, but people have reported seeing him, and if you see him, he's usually by like water as well, or in forests. People have been seeing him recently, but if you see him and his eyes are red, people have reported that people have died right after hearing these people explain that they saw this dog with red eyes, that they die shortly after. But then people have also seen them with white eyes, and they have prospered from it. Whether it be, like money-wise, or they finally got, the job they wanted, or whatever it was. So it goes both ways. He's kind of an omen of, good or bad, just depending on it. The reason why I chose the Black Shuck, though, is because I saw him out here in Vegas during the pandemic, remember when nobody was going out? Well, we decided to go for a drive one night, and we saw it on Sunset. So if you guys are ever on Sunset and there's no one out, look around for that motherfucker, dude. But no, it was huge. It was like, 6 feet tall, walking on all fours, and it had huge white eyes. And
was it just in the middle of the street?
Yeah, it was on. All right, so I was in the right lane, heading towards it, and then it was on the other right lane heading towards me. And from a distance, I was like, oh, look at that, a little coyote. But the closer we got, like, it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, dude, I swear, I know it's going to sound crazy, but it was the size of my RAV4. Its back was literally as high as the car was. And I know I wasn't just making this up, because as I drove up to it, I had my son and Victoria in the back seat, and she said, turn around now, drive away. So I know I wasn't just seeing this. I should have got pictures, but, no one ever thinks about that whenever you're actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Black Shuck was my choice. Yeah.
Oh, good thing it had white glowing eyes.
It
or
did.
else you wouldn't be here to do this podcast.
But here's the crazy thing. I didn't prosper.
You don't know that yet.
But then again, I mean, I'm already doing good, so it's like,
Actually, you kind of did, because after that, you left Aria and got your dream job.
No, you're totally right. Holy Christ, right after I saw the Black Shuck, I literally became a bartender.
Right. It's weird how we forget
Wow.
what we wanted at times in life. We're like, damn, dude.
No, that's totally true. Holy Christ.
Got to be grateful.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
When he was working with me for like years, he's all like, well, you know what, I'm only here to, pay the bills and get a few extra hours. And because you were at that manufacturing company thing. And then you got into the Aria.
Extreme.
Yeah, well, thank God you got me out of there, dude. That was a nightmare. I've never fallen asleep standing up before. I did that at Extreme.
Yeah, dude.
Because I know why they call it Extreme. because
Yeah,
the
worse.
conditions. No,
The
the
conditions.
conditions in there were extreme, bro. Because when it was wintertime, it was freezing in there. And then when it was the summertime, dude, you were dying in there. So it was super hot one day, and I only got like an hour and a half of sleep, and I was really hungover. I was like twisting a screw in, and I slowly fell asleep, and I was standing there, and my knees buckled so that I caught myself, and I looked back, and some guy was staring at me, and he's like, "You all right, bro?" But anyway,
No, I'm not all right.
I'm like, "No, I'm not. Extreme sucks."
This extremely sucks.
Well, see, man, after that, you got into, where I worked. And then after that, you got your dream job. So,
That's wild. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I guess it is kind of true then.
Wait, that was during COVID?
well,
That was literally during COVID. It was 2021.
You were still working at Extreme?
no. He
No.
was
I
Aria.
was still at Aria.
Yeah, he
I
was
was
at
Aria,
working
that's
seven.
Right, that's right. That's
I was
right.
working 7 days a week.
Yeah,
So
was
when I
like-
saw it, you're right. I did quit Aria. I did become a bartender.
Mhm.
That's wild. I wonder what would have happened though if I would have seen the black Shuck with red eyes.
You'd be dead.
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I'd be
Your
gone.
RAV4 would have like just combusted in the middle. Boom!
Blown up. Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, you're right.
All right. Well, yep. Black Shuck was my choice,
Black Shuck, not to be confused with the Black Cuck.
or the brown schmuck.
Brown schmuck.
That's me.
Yeah, so are we going me next or are you two?
Yeah. Mothman.
Mothman, dude, the Mothman
Bam.
is an A-lister. He's up there with the big dogs. Bigfoot probably the biggest cryptid.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody even knows he's a cryptid. He's
Oh,
just
most
a
definitely.
urban legend,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, mine's a Mothman. Spotted in the late '60s in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, I think it was.
I think it was Wisconsin.
Not at all.
West Virginia?
It was West Virginia. Dude, and this is another thing about cryptids. They're always almost always on the East Coast, around the Appalachians and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess where all this originated. But so he's described as like a 7 foot plus tall winged creature, half man, half moth. And his first sighting, I guess there was like grave diggers or something. And this was a few days before the major one. But he was seen to be like flying around like an old TNT area. It used to be like a military setup. But the big story that most of you've probably heard or will hear if you look this up is there was two young couples driving home one night, and they're on this road driving past that abandoned TNT factory, and this creature just started flying above them. So of course they were freaked out. They could have been MK Ultra subjects and just tripping out. I don't know. But they swore this thing was like flying over them. And then the faster they went, he was keeping up good pace with them, just flying right above them. And that's about it.
Question. When I saw that same one that you're talking about, they showed them in a convertible. Were they in a convertible, like where they had no top?
That's a good question. I don't know. Are you talking about the
From what I
Zach D
saw.
film, the guy who does the animation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just
Yeah.
sounds more interesting that it would be convertible, because this way they can 100% see above them, all around.
Well, maybe that was just an artistic choice.
Yeah. For the
That's
sake of
true.
the story, we're gonna say hell yeah.
Hell yeah, convertible.
They were in the drop top Chevy Impala, 6'4" Impala. They're just blazing down the street. All right, yeah. But so he actually became like a folklore legend around the town. There's a festival in his name. They have a giant 7-foot statue. He's got an absolute dunk on him. I think he's made out of metal. They said, yeah, but oh, it's cool. He was also seen to be as like a bad omen, kind of. So if he did arrive somewhere and there was a sighting that something bad was going to happen, there was a bridge collapsed in '67. There were sightings of him around that time too. So he might, I don't know, could be a bad omen. I don't know. But Mothman is the shit. There's movies on him. I think there's a book on him too. But yeah, he's up there, man.
Yeah, the movie's called Mothman Prophecies, I think, or Prophecy. One of
Yes.
those.
Yeah, the
I
Mothman
forgot who
Prophecy.
stars in it.
No idea. I never seen it.
Isn't
should
it
watch it,
Richard
though.
Gere?
That sounds right.
I think it's Richard Gere, but I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I don't know. It's
wasn't
been
Richard
so
Pryor.
long. Richard,
Just kidding.
No.
I'd probably watch it if Richard Pryor was in it, though.
It would have to be like a horror comedy.
But no, that's the Mothman.
Yeah, although his festival is this year, September 21st and the 22nd.
We should go.
Really?
Should go and vlog it.
That'd be pretty
Oh,
cool.
I would love to. September?
September.
I could probably take some time off in September.
Well, that's probably where this channel's gonna go one day. We can start doing little vlogs and stuff, visiting stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Going straight to the source.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See for ourselves instead of just from a computer screen.
Yep. Us making shit up.
Making shit up and trying to scare you guys.
Yeah. Or, telling you things that other people made up to try to scare you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
We do our best.
Mm.
Anyway, speaking of flying winged creature cryptids, we're gonna move on to Chiles now.
The Jersey Devil.
Ooh.
So he dates back to 1735. A woman named Mother Leeds had this baby, and I guess she was like, all distraught, maybe postpartum depression. No idea. I'm not a doctor.
That should be an episode on its own. No, seriously, postpartum depression.
Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Raise
That's
awareness.
that's
help
where
people.
babies get drowned and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some real terrifying shit.
La
Real life.
Llorona.
Oh yeah. Shout out to La Llorona.
Oh, no, that wasn't
Damn.
postpartum depression.
That wasn't postpartum. I'm just saying he was saying postpartum. That's how
Yeah.
babies get drowned. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So Mother Leeds had, her 13th kid. She was all distraught. She said, "Let this one be a devil." And I guess the little guy was born with wings and horns and a goat head, looking like Baphomet and all that. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know what came first, the Baphomet or the Jersey Devil. One might be inspired by the other. No idea.
The Baphomet did
Did he?
because the Baphomet started in the Knights Templar.
Dude, that was like 500 years before the Jersey Devil, maybe longer.
I don't know the dates, but I know the Knights Templar came before
Well, I
Jersey
think
Devil.
the Crusades were from like 900 to like 1200 AD.
Mm.
So I think that makes some sense.
Mhm.
Or I might have my dates wrong, but I think it was around that time. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. So the Jersey Devil is pretty famous. He's from Jersey, the Pine Barrens, and he's he's a mascot now for a hockey team. Yeah, the New Jersey Devils. I thought that was pretty cool.
He's also a video game from the original PlayStation.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Any good?
great game.
It was,
Oh,
good.
it was
It was
a-
like a fun little platform.
It was a puzzle kind of game. You had to find switches and
jump up
stuff, and yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And the funny thing is, I thought I had played the game and owned it and stuff, but Paul made a good point. I think when everybody got the PlayStation 1, that was
It was a demo game.
it was a demo.
You got Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and then you got Jersey Devil, and then there
Yep.
was like Gran
Yep.
Turismo or something like
Mhm.
that.
See, because I never remember finishing it.
You
But
couldn't finish it.
I was pretty young, but
Yeah,
that's probably why.
but I found it, dude. It's like $300 just to buy it. Like
At Retro
at Retro City Games.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, so yeah, the Jersey Devil has been seen all over the place, like from New York to Pennsylvania, and of course south of the Pine Barrens, where he originates from. There's people claiming that like he's raiding farms and like eating animals, and like getting into chicken coops and eating other large animals like goats and whatnot. Not to be mistaken with the chupacabra,
Skinwalkers.
skinwalkers,
Or
yeah,
skinwalkers. Or Wendigos.
or Wendigos, yeah.
God damn.
Famous sighting is Napoleon Bonaparte's brother, Joseph Bonaparte, saw him in like 1820 or something like that. Shot a cannon at him, and he said it had no effect. But I mean, if you're flying high, you shoot a cannon, you're probably gonna miss.
He fucking missed.
Yeah. So yeah,
He just didn't want to get fired from the army
yeah,
for
like,
missing.
like, oh, you couldn't hit that guy. Anyways, yeah, there's another sighting. 1925 in Greenwich, a farmer claims to have shot and killed him after he was eating one of his chickens. So, he's probably not bulletproof, assuming he exists.
Mhm.
And that'll come up later for sure. So, yeah, like from the 60s and on, like they had these 10K bounties on him. Oh, sorry, like in the pioneer times, in the colonial times, they had like a 10K bounty on him. So that's pretty rad, So
Wow.
I don't know how many other cryptids had bounties on them, but if you have a bounty on something, then
Pretty sure Bigfoot had a bounty on him too.
how much?
No clue.
Are those bounties still good?
For real, right?
You want
I
to go
mean-
hunting them?
No, I do. And I'm not much for handling animals, but if I'm gonna hunt something, it's gonna be something like a cryptid. Because you guys keep complaining about this wall being bare. Imagine, Jersey Devil wings. It's right there. I think that'll really give us some clout. Probably make us go viral. Like,
Well, it'd make us legit too.
yeah,
they'll,
like,
they'll,
hey.
go, they'll go good right next to Bigfoot's dick.
Yeah, probably 5 to 10 years for killing endangered species. But
Yeah, we'll get canceled.
yeah. But after the 5 to 10 years, we'll be back at the podcast and we'll be mega viral again. Like, hey guys, we're the new horror boys, old horror boys now.
We're the old horror boys.
Yeah, so we got canceled for for shooting the Jersey Devil, getting his wings up in a dick. I don't know why we put the dick in the middle and the 2 wings on the side, but we thought it was a cool design. Yeah.
It was an artistic choice.
All right. So
The viewers said anything but a blank wall. So
yeah, anything but a blank wall. They want to stare at something while we just chat, I guess. And I think they'll be impressed by Bigfoot's dick.
Like Bigfoot's.
well, he has a big foot. Never
Yeah.
said anything about it, anything else being huge either. So
I don't know, man. They
never know.
They say something about shoe size and dick size, right? So I'm just saying, man. It's probably
It
take up
all
the whole.
correlates.
Yeah.
It all correlates. I hope
I mean,
so.
what's scarier than a bare wall, though, dude? This is like
Uh,
a back room. Looks like we're in the back rooms right now.
Dude.
You guys know what the back rooms are?
Yeah, I know the back rooms. Hey, we should
Where
talk
did that
about
start from?
it's a creepypasta.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
all it
like-
is.
it's like-
Some kid one day just decided, hey, what if we no clip and then we fall and then we now we're in the back rooms.
What does no clip mean?
No clip. Or you're just like, all right, so imagine we're sitting right here and then all of a sudden like we're talking and then I just like fall through the floor.
Oh,
And then I'm in the back rooms.
like when you lag out in a game.
Yeah.
Is that what that comes
That's
from?
called no clipping.
Huh.
Never knew that.
It's always like nostalgic stuff that you remember from your childhood.
Yeah.
Like a water park. But I don't know. So there's definitely a vibe to these kind of pictures. I don't know.
Mhm.
They're editing like that to be that way. Was it just like 90s decor was creepy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. All right. So let's talk a little bit about other cryptids. Like Paul, you wanted to mention like Chupacabra,
Me?
or is it base?
Oh, I was just gonna mention. I thought we were
Oh
mentioning.
no, you were mentioning Loch Ness Monster. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Loch Ness monster.
And Champ, yeah.
Bullshit.
Whoever
Bullshit.
Champ
No,
is,
what
I
are you
never
talking
even
about?
heard
And
of
then
Champ.
and then there's the American version of the Loch Ness monster, Champ, and I'm not 100% sure. I should have done my research. I think it's somewhere in Missouri
Missouri.
or Minnesota. I thought it was a state that started with an M. I could be wrong. But
I have no idea.
yeah. Champ seems more believable. I was mentioning Loch Ness monster as far as like what we think is fake. Like a super fake cryptid. I mean, I get that, cryptids aren't really, confirmed.
I mean,
But Loch Ness monster's for sure fake.
the platypus was a cryptid for a long time. Yeah, and I mean, think about it, man. Like he has the body of an otter, the tail of a beaver, the beak of a duck. It sounds made up if I told you that.
Platypus. And don't platypuses also lay
Platypi.
eggs?
Yeah, they lay eggs.
And they're mammals.
They're mammals.
Yeah. Crazy.
So unicorns are cryptids.
Technically, yeah.
Yep. I
But-
mean, technically, urban legends, depending on which one it is, they're also cryptids.
What do you mean? It's like
So, like,
any urban legend is a cryptid.
Some
No.
of them.
some of them. Because, I mean,
Like the
basically,
man
what
with
it,
the hook. with
so
the hook
basically,
hand? Is he a cryptid or is he just a pervert?
so we should probably differentiate the difference of what a cryptid is, of what an urban legend is, and what a creepy pasta is, because they all essentially have one main thing in common, is that it is some kind of monster or something like that. But an urban legend comes from back in the day. It's more of like a wives' tales. Like there's actually a backstory to this stuff. Cryptids are more or less like not all of them. Like for instance, yours doesn't really have like a backstory. It just kind of showed up one day. There's like a story here or there,
But it's
like of
backstory.
how it kind of started, but it doesn't actually have an origin.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense too.
So cryptids
we gotta
are
talk about that.
Yeah, cryptids are more or less like something that doesn't necessarily have an origin. It just kind of
I think it's
came
just a
up.
weird creature that was
Right.
reported sightings on.
Yeah.
Yes. Urban legends have the stories. They've been passed down through generations.
Yeah. How do you think your Black Shuck started?
The Black Shuck?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot to mention that it started in Scotland.
Well, I know that.
But I guess it was like a couple. They were walking one day,
Mhm.
and they randomly saw that huge dog, and only one of them saw it, and they saw the red eyes, and I guess he died.
Mm.
But he kept mentioning that he saw it. She never saw it, so he ended up dying. But
So what do you think? Paranormal creature or something else?
you know,
Like
it's
a-
hard
like a
to
spirit
it's hard to
or-
tell. I think it because it's weird because if it started in Scotland and people are seeing it out here, because I saw it in 2021, I saw reports of multiple people. Somebody saw something on Sunset just like I did, but they called it a Bigfoot
Okay.
instead. But they also explained it the same way that it was all pitch black. You couldn't really see it. It was fuzzy. It kind of hurt your eyes to look at it. Then in 2022. People down in Utah were in the woods and they saw the black shuck. They didn't know what to call it though. They just said it was a big wolf-looking animal, big white eyes, and it was so black that you couldn't focus on it.
So he seems like more of like an apparition or a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to explain, but when I saw it, because it is weird. It looked physical, but it also looked like it could have just vanished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's too big to just like be walking across the Utah.
For real, dude. I mean, he's as big as a car, so if he's walking across the road, you're gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck is that?"
And that's one thing I want to like. I think cryptids are actually supposed to be like physical creatures. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe.
Google it.
Well, how do you think?
Well,
Google what is a cryptid.
That's not true because when people see like the Jersey Devil and all that, they've mentioned that he can vanish.
Yeah, because he flies really fast.
No, I guess that is
I'm
true.
just kidding. I don't know.
Oh, and then what about creepypastas? So
Creepypasta
it's a new age urban legend. It's
well,
basically a bunch of kids.
Those are Reddit forums where people just get
Right.
creative and write a creepy story.
They make a
That's how that
story.
whole
We all
started.
know it's fake,
yeah.
but the idea behind it is that if you get enough people to believe it, it just might actually be real.
Like what it
Yeah.
gets manifested?
Like that movie, yeah, like a manifestation. Like
Okay.
that movie Apparition. That's what it was all about. Remember they had the weird angel demon thing, and they said, let's all focus on this and
Never
just
saw it.
every single day, let's all say that this is real.
Mhm.
And then they all believed it so much that that thing became real, and it started messing with their reality.
Hmm.
So I think that's more or less like what a
Yeah.
creepypasta is.
Alright,
There
so-
is something that says that anything that can be imagined can exist in the universe.
Well, we've talked about this on
Yeah.
a current episode. There's no such thing as originality. You close your eyes and you picture anything. I'm thinking about a dragon with pink shoes on and it has no wings for some reason. It's out there somewhere because I didn't come up with that.
Wouldn't that just be like a big?
It's
ass
my
lizard?
mind,
Giant
big ass lizard.
Just saying.
but it has pink shoes on.
Komodo dragon
we're
with
just-
pink Reeboks.
Yeah, we're just gonna sedate a Komodo dragon, put pink shoes on him, bro. We're gonna be like,
See,
"You
it can
manifested
exist
this, bro."
though.
Yeah.
It can exist.
It can exist.
That's what I'm saying. That's the crazy part.
Alright, so a cryptid is a creature that is said to exist in folklore or legend, but whose actual existence is unproven by science.
That's what an urban legend is.
That's what a
Cryptid.
cryptid is.
Oh, that's what a cryptid is.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah, so
Well, that's why it's the easiest job in the world to be a cryptozoologist.
sounds awesome.
You bastards. I would love to be a
You
cryptozoologist.
just get to
Just-
make up whenever
You just get to
Right.
make up shit all
Is that
day.
really a job?
It really, dude. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's like, maybe if it's like if you had a lot of money or whatever. I don't know, but there's people out there that apparently make money off of cryptozoology.
Oh yeah, I mean, start a YouTube channel,
Right.
start a podcast.
But there
Start
were
talking about it.
cryptozoologists before YouTube.
That's true. Bigfoot
You know?
hunters hunting
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Hunting Bigfoot.
Part 39. Still haven't found him yet.
More like part 8,000, dude. There's so many episodes.
Are there really?
Oh, dude.
All right, so Mothman. What do you think his origins are? Like science experiment, apparition, what?
Well, he was found around an abandoned military site. So if he is real, which, I'm not gonna hold my breath, but if he is, maybe part of like those. Remember the Montauk Project? You know, where random weird hybrid animals were just washing up on the shores, and I think Montauk's in New York.
Yeah.
And this is actually what Stranger Things is based on. That whole little area, they were like testing gene splicing, DNA, cloning. So yeah, it was around an abandoned military site. So maybe the military was messing around. I mean, logically, I think that would be the only case. But whenever you get around those woodsy areas where natives used to live, I also think, there was some weird black magic stuff going on in the woods. Who knows? Honestly, they were in tune with the earth a lot more, so they might have been able to summon things, or I don't know.
Yeah. It's always woods or like even the ocean.
Oh, the ocean's
Where
a
is it?
terrifying
There's
place.
like a place. What was it? There was like a place in Asia, I believe, and all of a sudden whales just started beaching, and
Yeah.
the water started turning red.
It could have been red algae.
Well, yeah, but it's just crazy, like that random stuff like that does happen.
Yeah, we never know what. I mean, I think red algae only happens in fresh water, though. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot about this we don't know. There's a lot I think humans as a whole don't know, and then there's a lot that us as peons don't know, and probably never will, until it's just there at your front door one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I try not to stress myself out over it, but I don't know, man. Things are coming out, man. Everything's coming to light. I think. Pretty
Yeah.
soon. It's gonna start with aliens. I don't know, Project Bluebeam, whatever.
Here's the question: what about like Leviathan or Cthulhu or the Behemoth? Like, would those be? I know Leviathan and Behemoth are biblical,
Are
and
they? I thought those were
Cthulhu is
H.P.
made up by
Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft made Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Leviathan and Behemoth are creatures made by God to prove his power because they're beasts that can't be. They're invincible. They can't be killed.
Who's Behemoth?
The Behemoth is like the land version of the Leviathan. So it's like it. They don't really explain what it looks like, right?
Mm.
They just say that it's a big beast, but it lives on land. It's the equivalent to the Leviathan in the ocean. One conquers the ocean, one conquers the land. But would those be considered like urban legends, or would that
Technically,
are they almost like cryptids?
do they be cryptids because they're creatures, but they're not. Sorry, they're not proven by science.
Okay. Yeah.
Not that we know.
Well, right.
What is it? We haven't explored like 90% of the ocean.
Right.
That is true. Yeah.
More like
Whatever it is.
95, I
Don't quote
think.
me on the percentage, but it's
Well,
like,
they said it's like
we literally can't get down there.
roughly 5%. Yeah, you can't do anything.
It's a lot of area, and it's very deep, so it's a lot of pressure. So
Deep, it's pressure, and it's dark.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pitch dark.
pretty cool.
Probably
though.
our brightest light probably wouldn't go more than like, I don't know.
You wouldn't get
Here we
very
go
far with
talking
it.
about shit I don't know, but it probably wouldn't get very far.
That's funny. I mean,
Shout out giant squid.
yeah, that was also cryptid for a good while.
We've actually found that though.
Yeah.
That's
We
a real
have,
thing.
yeah.
They
Giant
get- they
fucking
get-
squid.
Yeah, they get eaten by sperm whales and shit. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Sperm whales can get down there?
Oh, well, they eat the giant squid. I'm not sure where they get them from. They might be a deep dive, or maybe they come up a little bit to their territory.
Huh.
Mhm.
I don't really know, because I know giant squid they go pretty deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's pretty crazy to think about, because sailors were talking about like back in the day how these giant squids were attacking them or whatever, the kraken.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out they were real.
See, somebody made a good point though, because
that?
when I brought that up, how they say that the Kraken would grab your boat and all that. He goes, "Well, maybe boats were just a lot smaller back then." I don't know.
Well, no, those things are long. I can't remember if it was 60 feet or 120 feet, but like the tentacles are pretty long.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, it could probably wrap around, at least most of the boat back then. So I'm not sure if they
But
would,
could it suction to something like that though?
Yeah.
It could suction to anything.
basically.
Huh.
Because you got to think about it. The boat is all wet, so that kind of creates like a vacuum seal. Because it's like a hydraulic press, basically. A fluid under pressure acts like a solid. So now you have a good surface area where you can just put it on there, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
You see that? Now we're the new information boys. Stupid.
well,
The
something.
new info boys.
The new info boys.
All right. From the cryptids that we mentioned, actually, I want to shout out to Skinwalker because I'm not sure if that's a cryptid or not.
The Skinwalker?
Yeah.
Well, because that's more of like that's a Native American story. So I would say
Yeah.
it's more of an urban legend
So it's folklore.
because
but,
it's one of those things that's just always passed down through generations.
yeah, but they say it's a person who turns into, or evil spirit that turns into a creature. So are
Yeah,
they
well, it could
cryptids where
turn
they
into
transform?
people or
Yeah.
anything that's around. I think it could become anything.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is that technically a cryptid if he becomes an animal or she becomes an animal, or how does that work?
I don't know.
Cryptid.
Cryptid, right? Yeah. Technically, it's a creature.
Hmm.
Unproven by science.
I don't think there's many sightings of them.
No, not anymore.
Not like
But there's
directly, but they'll be like, "Oh, I saw like a woman in my farm just yelling with
Sounds
her
like
face
a crazy
back,
person.
and they sound human, but it doesn't sound human at the same time."
That's weird.
The only
But
place
if you ever hear your name called in the forest, fucking leave.
don't go. Yeah.
Don't follow it.
Don't fall for it.
Skinwalker Ranch is probably the only place that people still mention it, like that they see anything.
We got to go there.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that's at.
If they come back without
Hey,
me,
Utah or something?
Skinwalker got me.
I know it's not too far,
New
right?
Mexico? I think it's New Mexico.
New Mexico.
New
Yeah.
Mexico. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I want to go to all those places. There's a
Speaking
haunted-
of New Mexico, man, you want to talk about cryptids and
What happened?
shit? Roswell and all that.
Oh yeah, are aliens cryptids?
See, that's where things
I don't
get
know.
that fine line.
Maybe not as
'Cause
of this year because we have
because
confirmed, but there's no-
cryptozoologists look for aliens.
Yeah.
So I guess it is kind of cryptid.
Should we like put an invite out for them, or No, we probably don't speak the language.
beep boop beep bop bop beep boop bop beep.
Shit, he's fluent in Martian too.
I guess now's a good time to tell you guys I'm from Mars. Beep boop bop beep 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 bop beep beep bop.
I love that movie, Mars Attacks. I haven't seen
Mars
it.
You
Attacks.
know,
Holy
I remember
shit.
loving. I just never.
I don't really
can't
remember it.
what happens.
I
I
just
remember
remember
aliens.
Pierce Brosnan like gets his head fucking swapped
in
with a
that?
dog. Is it Pierce Brosnan? I don't know.
I
It's
can't
been
remember.
so long.
I couldn't tell.
I know
you.
a woman gets her head swapped with a dog, and a guy does too, and that's pretty much all I remember.
Yeah.
I'm not rewatching it, bro. I loved it as a kid. I don't want to ruin my.
Yeah.
Yeah,
memories.
you'll ruin. I heard
Anytime
that if you
try to
watch it,
something-
it's bad. I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's crazy though? I didn't know that. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Tim Burton made Mars Attacks, right?
Really?
could be.
Look that up, dude. Look that up. Who made Mars Attacks?
I could see that.
I'm pretty sure it's Tim Burton. I remember when I found out who made it, it kind of blew my mind because I was like, wow, I didn't know I would know the person that made this movie.
Directed by Tim Burton.
Told you.
Wow. Well, he directed it. I'm not sure if he made it, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know the difference between directing and producing. So
Well, directing is, who was in charge of all that stuff. Like, you have to look at the screenwriters or the writers or creators.
so is the producer the one that wrote it then?
No, the producer is the people who like market it and like fund the
They
project.
put the
and all
money
that.
up. They know they
Yeah.
have all the connections.
So then it was Tim Burton's idea.
Directing is like, okay, hey, when you do this scene, you act scared and
Yeah.
just try to convey that feeling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Writer obviously writes a screenplay. Well, no, because you could have a writer and you can have a screenplay.
Mhm.
It's playwright or whatever they call it.
So the
The writer's the one who wrote the story, and then the screenplay. Maybe it's usually both, but that he's the one who writes like the dialogue and the scenes and everything.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, if you write the screenplay, usually you're the writer. So Jonathan James wrote the screenplay.
Oh, so then that means that our producer is ChatGPT.
No, he didn't write anything.
No, they gave us a program.
Yeah, they just gave us a program. They just helped us with the setup, but they didn't write anything for us.
Yeah. No, I inputted all the information I wanted to talk about, the vibe I wanted to give, the amount of time I wanted to be.
Yep.
It's just kind of like a guideline.
Yeah. So Tim Burton directed and produced Mars Attacks.
Oh, he did both.
Yeah. So
Yep.
he funded it and he directed it, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we gotta talk about the cryptid battle. Who would win between our cryptids?
Black Shuck.
Nah, there's no way.
Dude, way. Even though he doesn't fly?
Then how's he gonna win if you can get the other
Because
ones?
he's then don't they eventually have to make contact for one to try to kill each other?
Then that'd just be a tie, bro. If one runs away.
Black Shuck's a ghost. He can't even fight physically.
Oh yeah, man. No
Oh,
red-eyes,
if he's a
nothing
ghost too, he can manifest himself into the air.
Nah, he's an omen.
Fucking fuck those people up, dude.
He's just an omen.
He's just an omen, bro.
All right, so okay, I get it. Mine doesn't fly, but between Mothman and Jersey Devil, who do you guys think would win?
Jersey
I'll be the
Devil, Mothman.
tiebreaker.
Dude, you know how easy it is to swap a moth?
Well, I mean, if he can fly like as fast as they say, he can,
I
he's
don't know.
probably
I hit
strong as
moths
shit, so
pretty
I think
easy.
the Mothman might be it because his size and his speed. He's got to be strong as hell.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you're both gonna say the Mothman.
Yeah.
I was thinking Jersey Devil.
I was thinking
think it's
Jersey
the
Devil.
Mothman.
Jersey
But
Devil
you know
just
what?
seems a little more hardcore, and he was around longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a Mothman was a science experiment who didn't eat the Jersey Devil yet.
Dude, Mothman. Look, that's why everything I looked up is just those little sightings from the
Yeah.
60s. He probably fucking died, dude. Couldn't sustain himself or take care of himself.
Well,
Where
he
the
was
fuck's
the
he gonna
one,
live?
one and only of his kind.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have got a little depressing.
Yeah.
You know,
He
I was
probably
thinking about
killed
it too.
himself. Oh,
You
I'm
know-
sorry, unalived himself.
Speaking of things that sound familiar, I was thinking Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, I think he's definitely influenced by both of those. Just like flying winged, random.
The only
Which
thing
is-
is that he can eat people. Well, every 23rd spring he wakes up and then he eats for 23 days, and that's how he regenerates himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty dude. I love that monster though because it's kind of a crazy premise in a sense, but it's kind of like a useless existence. You sleep for 23 years, you wake up for 23
23 days.
You eat, you sleep. That's it. Nothing else.
But I think we're missing the point of that, though. It
What's the
makes
point?
for a great horror film.
Yep.
it
Dude,
does.
I'm not gonna lie. I love
does.
Jeepers Creepers, and I love Jeepers Creepers 2.
Yeah.
3 Cathedral. Yeah, fuck out of here. But first one and the second one,
Yeah.
both amazing.
They were amazing films for sure.
Both amazing.
All right. Oh, bro. No phones.
Well, I'm just saying we probably got to wrap this up because Nanny's on the way home right now.
For sure. Well,
Yeah. You're right.
Anyways, so who has the most believable cryptid out of all three of us?
I would say the Black Shuck.
The Black Shuck?
It's
Well-
just a big dog. It's a huge dog.
Yeah, but he's an apparition with glowing eyes.
He also goes a lot further back, and he's also been more recently seen. You don't hear stories about Jersey Devil and Mothman anymore.
That's true.
You were just saying that. So
Yeah.
they might either be dead or people just, I don't know.
How do we know it's
Dude,
not
Black
just
Shuck is still being
hysteria?
brought up.
But it could be hysteria because someone said it was like a Bigfoot creature. Someone else was like, "Oh, it's a giant dog," and this and that. It's like the witnesses can't even get it right.
But either way, it's the same thing with Bigfoot. Is it a man who's super hairy or is it an ape?
It's,
Who knows?
It's
We
just,
don't know.
It's just some old dude who's tall as fuck who never learned how to manscape.
And
I don't know.
that's where we're going to leave it.
Right?
No. I think Mothman is probably the most believable science experiment. Motherfucker can fly.
You're going to say Mothman is the most believable?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm still going Black Shuck.
What do you think?
I seen it. I've literally seen it. I'm not lying, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Black Shuck.
Black Shuck.
He's not a cryptid, he's a ghost.
There you go.
He still falls under that cryptid category, though.
Yes, he does.
Oh, because all right, isn't La Llorona a ghost?
Yeah.
She's an
Spirit.
urban legend though.
Yeah. She's not a cryptid because
She's not a
she's
cryptid.
human.
She's an urban legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cryptid, you have to be a creature.
You have to be a creature. And if you can turn into a creature, I'll count you as a creature.
Okay.
Yeah, well, what's the dumbest cryptid that we talked about?
Loch Ness,
Loch Ness? Why Loch Ness?
dude. He's the least believable, and the person on their deathbed, the one that took that famous photo, the black and white one of it, like with its neck sideways in the
Yeah.
water, on her deathbed, she said, "This is a fake photo."
Yeah, but it all started from somewhere still.
Right. It all
From her.
started somewhere. But dude, think about it like this. It's a small lake, and the way they explain it, I forget the kind of dinosaur it is. It's, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. A Dilophosaurus.
No.
A Dilphosaurus.
Dilophosaurus.
A dildosaurus? No.
Try again, bro.
A dilophosaurus, dude.
Nah, that's a Jurassic Park one where he spits venom and shit.
No, that is not dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
You're thinking about
Please
a
look it up,
plesiosaurus.
dude.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's probably plesiosaurus, but I'm telling you, dilophosaurus, I'm pretty sure it looks like Lapras, the Pokemon.
Oh, my bad. I went to diphosphorus, whatever it is.
Just kind of spell it as close as you can.
Dilophosaurus. No, I just went to the first thing. See? Yeah, this is the Jurassic Park one.
Never mind, he was right. Okay.
Of course I am.
Well, I think that's about wrapping it up for us.
That's it
today,
for
huh?
us.
Yeah,
We got a little late start. Had a lot of technical issues, so
Yeah.
absolutely.
we had to re-record this episode. So
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Yeah, although we do want to say something. Base, would you like to tell them what happens if we don't show up next week?
If we're not up by next week with another episode, either we're having more technical issues or Mothman took us all into his little lair and we're being his little slaves. So, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Look for caves. Or lights, because moths love lights. We'll probably buy like a lighthouse or something, just like wrapped up in moth foam. Do moths make silk,
Some of them do.
or is that not a thing?
Some of them make
Right?
silk, yeah.
Probably covered in mothballs to mask our scent, so the dogs can't find us.
Oh, God, he's going to put the mothballs on us.
I would
What I'm
much
talking
rather
about.
be caught by Mothman than to have technical difficulties one more time.
That's true.
Jesus Christ.
Just
We
know
got so many problems.
Hey, but we got it done.
we're here. Now we got to figure out the damn wall.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, signing out. See you next time.
All right, y'all.
Peace out.